So today's game, round 9, I played against Petra Sochorova. She is from Czech Republic. She is Women International Master and she's rated 2019. So let's see how the game went. She played the move e4, which I expected. I didn't really prepare much for this game. I mean, I knew I was going for the French, and I actually saw that she plays really well in openings, so that really terrified me a little bit. And also, she tends to play openings like the King's Gambit. She tends to play really sharp lines. So I was a bit terrified of that. And against the French, she had a couple of games, and they were ranging from what happened in the game, knight c3, bishop g5, to exchange variation. I also saw, I don't even remember, I think she also played advanced variation. Like, she plays a couple of lines, so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna have to recheck my lines, what I have, what I want to play, etc. And we'll see what happens. For some reason, I mean, I did see her play this line, d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5. I see that she plays it, but I didn't really bother to check it. I was just like, I'll just figure it out during the game. I'm so done with prep. Like, I got so lazy today. I did not want to prep. I was so pissed from the game of yesterday. So, yeah, I just accepted my fate. And during the game, I spent like, I don't know, like 30 seconds or a minute here. Because I was like, okay, do I go for something like bishop e7, what I actually never play? I have not checked bishop b4 in the longest time. I don't really play this. I've played it maybe a few times or once or something. And I did not really want to play this line, d takes e4. It's such a boring line, and white gets a lot of attacking chances. You know how it goes. But in my mind, I thought, you know what? You should go for your lines, what you always play, what you know, what you've been doing for 10 years. Let's go for it. D takes e4. I did it. I decided to do it. Knight takes e4. Knight bd7. Knight f3. Bishop e7. Well, honestly, this is not the main line. You're not supposed to play like this. But I'm just a little bit stubborn. And I just want to trade pieces and see where things go to, you know? Yeah, so you're supposed to play the move h6 here. That's the main line. Then takes here. And then you can play bishop h4. You can take here. You can go bishop e3. All sorts of moves. But I'm a bit stubborn, so I play the move bishop e7 because I want to trade pieces and see where things go. Knight takes, bishop takes, h4, which is a really good move actually because, I mean, it's obvious that white's plan is to attack on the king side. It's a bit difficult for me to castle long, and she'll be able to castle long and start pushing on the king side. So it's a very typical idea here. h6, and here she traded, which is what I like to face. She plays queen d2, c5, very typical idea in this line, long castle. Here, I wasn't sure if I had to take on d4 already. What I didn't like about taking here already, so knight takes d4. Why did I not play this? Yeah, I didn't want her to play g4 that easily. So I want to play a6 here to stop any sort of knight b5 or bishop b5. So I would have played this. And then I don't like the move g4, and I'm like, okay, I'm just giving her a free attack, and there's nothing I can do. I mean, I can probably develop, but how do you counter this? Because soon bishop g2 or bishop elsewhere happens, and then g5, and yeah, you're just screwed. So that's why I went for the move short castle. She played the move queen e3, which I thought was a really strong move. I was calculating this already when I was going for a short castle, and I was like, okay, if she plays that, that seems like a really good move, and I'm actually not sure what to do here, but we'll see. And then I spent, okay, not too long, I guess, but I decided to play b6 because I didn't want to take on d4 once again. After takes, I thought rook takes d4, and if I play the move e5, which I feel like I have to play because otherwise, yeah, I didn't really like the position actually. I mean, there's g4 in the air, bishop can develop to b5, all sorts of problems. If I move my knight, there's always knight e5. I really didn't like this position, and after e5, there's rook e4, and good luck defending this pawn. I mean, obviously I can play this, but you can just not develop. Bishop b5 is actually the next move, or bishop c4, I don't know. Bishop b5, I thought, and I'm just losing a pawn. But okay. I really hated this line. So that's why I didn't take on d4 and I went for b6. And I was actually thinking like, okay, b6 is typically a really dangerous move because you allow moves like queen e4. Typically, it's just really bad because of the bishop being on d3, but here the bishop has not developed to d3. Because of that, I'm able to play b6. I just need to be careful of queen e4, because obviously if she would have played bishop d3, I develop bishop b7, and I'm fine, I guess. I'm fine. I'm in time to develop. But she played the move queen e4, and then here I was already like ready for it, you know, because it's obvious the idea that she's going for. She wants to play bishop d3 and attack, play queen h7, which is a checkmate threat. So here I play rook b8, it's pretty much forced. Bishop d3, that's what she played. And here, the most obvious move is obviously to play g6. However, if you play g6, you allow h5. And apparently this is not so bad, but I'm mentally resigning here. I don't want to play this. I don't want to face this. I don't know how to survive this. I mean, having this in the air with the h6 pawn being so weak, and that's a nightmare. That is a simple nightmare. So I played almost instantly rook d8. I was just thinking, should I play rook e8? Should I go here? Or should I go rook d8? And I thought, I guess rook d8 sounds better to me. I think I'm safe on e7, and this just feels safer, better. She plays queen h7, and here I was like, yeah, I think we're heading to something. King f8? Here she went for knight e5, which is apparently a mistake. I mean, you'll see why. But I'm actually threatening something here, which is really crazy. So imagine what would be a logical move to you guys. What would be a logical move for you guys to play here? What is a move that you would play? Not looking at engine. What is a logical move to play here with the white pieces? d5 is logical. In a way, a3. Let's imagine she plays the move rook h e1 to control the e file and everything, okay? Let's imagine she goes for this. What I was thinking here is that I give a check, the king moves, and I play knight f6. And I wish you a lot of luck defending the queen, because the queen is trapped. You play queen h8, king e7, queen takes g7, rook g8, and goodbye, your queen. I mean, you can play apparently g3 here, but I just take your knight. And that's it. I would say game over. So that was my idea. That's why I was happy about this position, because this is basically the threat in the position. I'm curious what happens after d5 though. Check. Okay, if king b1, knight f6. Is there some d6 in the position? After queen takes... And rook g8, is there d6? Yeah, there is d6. Because if you go away, f7 is not protected anymore. Huh. Yeah, I saw this move somewhere in my calculations, but I didn't look at it very carefully. I just thought, we'll see what happens. But yeah, if I take here, obviously the queen escapes, and it's not so easy anymore. Apparently it's +3, but alright. Yeah, no, I saw this. I saw this. And I was so happy she went for this line, because I thought, haha, your queen is gonna get trapped. And that's why I think she played this move knight e5. Because queen e4 is a legitimate threat. This knight on d7 is a very good defender. If it gets to f6, or maybe even f8, this knight will stop everything. And I had this feeling that not only does she want to try to create more chances for herself, she also wants to get rid of my knight. So she played the move knight e5. So thinking about that, I thought it made some sort of sense. But let's see why it's wrong. I thought, okay, I mean, she is threatening things, and if I play bishop b7, I can resign already. Oh, oops. Because of knight takes, rook takes, and queen h8, and I lose my dear rook. Yeah, knight takes e5, d takes e5, queen takes e5, rook h e1, queen f6, just safe and sound. And here she played the move bishop b5, which at first seems very logical, because her idea is that if it's her move, she plays queen h8 and queen takes d8 checkmate. So the obvious move here, okay, you have two moves basically, one of them is a check, And the other one is simply play bishop b7 because you want to defend the rook to not get checkmated. But realizing that those two moves are pretty much the only moves that are good, you calculate this: bishop b7, queen h8, king e7, rook d7. Very scary at first, right? But I calculate this all the way through. I knew that rook d7 is not working. It's not working because I take. I'm not afraid. I mean, I have to take. I have no choice. That's pretty nice, you know. I was sitting there like, okay, typically I would double check everything if it's fine or not. But here I was like, okay, I mean, I have to take. I double checked everything, but I have to take. Like, I can sit and wait for 5 minutes and dream about things and whatever, but I have to take. Queen takes b8, and here the move queen takes f2 is what she missed, because if it wasn't for queen takes f2, I may have a big problem. I may have a big problem here because my rook is under attack, and if I move my rook, this bishop will drop, and I have no other intermediate moves. So she simply missed queen takes f2, and I'm simply winning. I mean, the rook is under attack, checkmate is being threatened. There's also this checkmate pattern, a famous puzzle rush type of tactic. Yeah, there's nothing she can do. And the best thing she has, the best thing, is to play b3, but I'll just take king b2. I was actually not sure yet how to win this. I was actually thinking of queen d2 here, but apparently I can just take. I mean, I didn't consider this. I thought just play queen d2, and after takes, you'll just take back. I mean, this is clearly winning. Like, you have a bishop, you're up 2 pawns, you're gonna lose 1 pawn, but after queen takes, I play queen c7, and goodbye, queen. Goodbye. So, yeah, she played after queen takes f2. She spent some time because, well, it's typical when you're devastated and you missed something, you start thinking. And she played with queen e5. I mean, obviously she was aware what's happening, but she just let me play queen d2. Check. And it's checkmate in 2. She resigned here. So, yeah, I was so proud of myself because not only did I win this game, I won it with an hour on the clock. More than 60 minutes were on my clock. That is more time than I have had left in all my other games. I've never had so much time on my clock. So, yeah, I was so proud of myself. Like, that's how it goes when you play something you just know. I feel confident in this line because I've been playing this for over 10 years. Like, if you play something else that's very different, you might not recognize the structure, you don't know what you're doing, you have trouble adjusting. But this is just something I've been playing for so long. So I was just playing my moves, really, and just responding to what she was doing. And I didn't really have many choices, you know. Typically, the reason why I spend so much time is because you have choices and you can't really choose, or you don't know what to do. But here, it was so straightforward for me. The only time I felt like I spent a lot of time was when I played the move b6. Like, that was the one moment that I was like, okay, now I have to think, because I don't like my position. I don't know what to do here, really, but I simply had a huge reason to not take on d4. And then the other move, the alternative, is b6. And I actually didn't like that there might be some d5 type of moves, but I thought, okay, if she plays d5, surely something must be fine here, because I take, rook takes, and my bishop will be somewhat, like, it should be able to develop at some point. Yeah, I saw queen c6 here, and yeah, I can simply play knight f6, and I thought it should be fine. It was the only concern I had. All the other moves, I was like, it's fine. It's fine. Apparently bishop b5 is really good. I had no idea. I mean, it makes sense, actually. I cannot play bishop b7. That sucks. But yeah. It just goes to show, if you're in your openings, if you're comfortable in those positions, you've been playing those positions forever, you just play faster. I mean, that's how simple it is.